Hello everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. I thought I would do a second show today. Why? No reason in particular. I just felt like doing some stuff. Also the fact that some news came out, of course, in reference to some injuries and some players that we're looking at for hopefully return. Let's start with Gano. Right now, Judge is saying, of course, through all the news that we're seeing, that he is on track to possibly be activated for Sunday. So it's really going to matter on the test itself. We have another kicker on the roster, not on the roster, but we have another kicker available that we could be using if he is unable to play Gano. I'm hoping that, as you know, we may not need him, hopefully, against the Bengals, because, like I said, as you know, he has been our most offensive, most consistent offensive weapon. But I think this game, if it would be detrimental if he wasn't able to play, but it looks like he is on track to play. But I don't think it would be the end of the world if he did miss one game, because hopefully we are going to be able to beat the Bengals by quite a bit. Also, Xavier McKinney, we are still waiting to see if he is going to be added to the active roster for Sunday. Joe Judge says that he, like everything else, he said he's been on track for him as well. It's going to be a big day for him today. That was earlier to see what he's going to do today on Friday. He didn't mention anything about O'Shea Zimenez or his status. Tate Crowder's also been practicing. But like I said, it's going to be interesting. I think the two most interesting and integral pieces right now are going to be Gano and if Xavier McKinney is going to make his New York Football Giant debut. I mean, I think those are the two things we need to look at. I also want to talk about a couple of keys to the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. But you know what I want to just briefly touch on? The NFC East has just been crazy. And honestly, I think it's the NFL's quest for parity that created the NFC East this year. I really do. I mean, you look at the revenue sharing, the salary cap, small market teams against large market teams. Back in the day, and a lot of people don't remember these things, but even in the 90s, we didn't have all this. You spent what you spent, you got what you got. If you were a big market team and you had a television contract or this or that, you kept that revenue. It wasn't dividing up revenue between the teams evenly, and then making everything equal by having the salary cap. It's just one of those situations. I just think that their quest for a total parity in the league has finally backfired in some ways and created the NFC East. And really, if you think about it, that's, and you have to kind of go back and know your NFL history in reference to finances and salary. But I really do think that that's what happened, because we didn't always have a salary cap. People forget that. People also forget that NFL players were extremely underpaid going into the 70s and the 80s. So the salary cap in some ways helped bump up the salary of certain players, while limiting the salary of other players, and also the television revenues. Once you hit those large scale television revenues that you receive from the television contracts, and you did a even split or share for the revenue sharing, that was supposed to create consistency in the league. Same thing that you have to spend something like 80% of your cap on average over 3 years, or you get penalized. It's to make sure that no team has an unfair advantage. Now, some teams will, in my mind, always have an unfair advantage, because if you have the opportunity to play in someplace like New York or Los Angeles or Florida, I mean, are you really, besides Reggie White, are you really going to Green Bay as a high-priced free agent? I mean, is that the one thing you're looking at? You're like, I'm gonna go to Wisconsin, because I hear it doesn't snow a lot there. So, just in reference to geography, some teams have an unfair advantage. And I understand that, in this world, everyone needs to be the same. Everyone needs to be even. Everyone needs to start, everyone needs to be on the same level. But that's not what life is. Certain people have different situations, and certain people start off on a better foot than others. I come from a simple beginning. And, I made myself from where I am now. But that was just through hard work. And and a lot of teams in the 70s and 80s were not big market teams that were winning games. So, like I said, to me, the quest for parity is just been it's just kind of ridiculous. But that's just the way it is. They want to make everything fair. They want to make everything even. Keys to beating the Bengals. One, I think show up, because if we do not take this team down and take them down by a good measure, I'm not gonna. The Giants' wins have been against. Let's be honest. Our 3 wins have been against not bad teams, but okay teams. So this is a game that we should win. There's really no way around it. I mean, we should win this game. And like I said, we should win this game handily. Will we? I don't know. But I think the secondary of the Bengals will I should rephrase that. The safeties with the Bengals will challenge Evan Ingram and Dion Lewis. So we're going to see more consistency, or need to see more consistency from Shep, from Darius, from Golden Tate. We are going to need to see something from those 3 guys. And I know Sterling Shepard's been kind of battling, nicks and bruises here and there. But it's just one of those things. And the run game. I'm not going to say the Bengals are bad against the run. They're not good against the run. They do not have the front line talent on the front 4 that the Giants have on defense. So, I mean, if you think about it that way, and you want to be brutally honest about it, if we don't blow out this team, and it's close going into the 4th quarter, and you got Brandon Allen at quarterback, I'm not going to feel good about this team. I feel okay about this team now because the 2 wins against Washington, I would not say were quality wins, but I do think Washington is an improving team. They kind of remind me of the Giants in some ways, that they have talent on the defense, and their offense is kind of suspect, which can also turn out to be a plus in some ways when they're on the field, the offense. It's a possibility that they can actually show something like the Giants. The Giants have these mind-numbing 3-and-outs, and then they go on a 14-play, 90-yard drive and eat up 7 minutes the next time. And then the time after that, they're 3-and-out again. This is a team against the Bengals that the Giants should be able to consistently move the ball, and hopefully the line will be able to hold up, and I really think the line can really show something this game and move forward, and we're not going to have to sit there and worry so much about Daniel Jones, because he's going to need to watch the safeties. The corners aren't bad. The corners are NFL caliber corners. It's not like they're both Isaac Yiadom, but yes, I'm giving a slight against Isaac Yiadom, because all these people are like, oh, Isaac Yiadom, he's turning the corner. He's solidifying that CB2 position. Well, you got to watch the game a little bit more, because all the plays that go big are usually against Isaac Yiadom's side, or he's either blown his assignment in the zone unless they changed his number. So the corners on the Bengals, I'm not going to say are all pros, but they are NFL starting caliber corners. But I think that our receiving core can take advantage of them. It's the safeties that we're going to have the problem with. So we need to limit the safeties, maybe work a little bit of the underneath game. Try to, take our shot deep once in a while to help open up the run, but let's limit it to kind of a little West Coast style offense. Kind of go underneath, and I have all the confidence in the world in Jason Garrett, because Jason Garrett in the last 6 weeks has called some brilliant games. It's not Jason Garrett's fault that we lost some of these games. It was the Evan Ingram drop, it was the interception, it was a fumble. So let's not focus on issues from Jason Garrett, because Jason Garrett will call a good game, plain and simple. I can see him calling a smart game, and I think he's going to go short underneath passes. I think he's going to help try to limit the rush. I don't think that the linebackers would be able to contain Jones in the second level. So I would not be shocked if we saw some read options from Jones that we've seen before that's gone from big plays. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see at least 2 big runs from Daniel Jones on designed runs. And those to me are really just the keys to beating the Bengals. Show up, play hard, and we should constantly win. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, if you subscribe, if you're ringing that bell, you think you know what it means, I think you know what it means. It'd be awesome.